Okay, thank you. Welcome, everybody, to Parks Recreation on May 12th, 2025. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Any of the conflicts of interest? See none? Councilor Brown?
I have my son-in-law bid on one of the contracts there. He wasn't successful, but I'll take a conflict on that one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Approval of the agenda. Moved by Councilor Bernard, second.
And can I just add some stuff under new business?
Yes, your worship, go ahead.
I was speaking to our manager for Parks and Recreation, and it was about the wall of history at the new Simmons Aqua Arena facility. Just get an update, maybe not this meeting, the next meeting. And about our signage. I know that we have signage that has English, French, and Mi'kmaq, so I was just wondering if that could be applied, or we could put that signage at our new facility at Simmons, because as you know, we have federal funding, provincial funding coming from that. And just wanted an update on a proposed parkland off the Confederation Trail near Towers Road. I was talking to some residents out there, and they were waiting to find something out. So if nothing's available now, I can wait till the next meeting. Much appreciated.
Thank you, your worship, for that. We'll take under advisement. Manager Frank, is that okay? Okay, thank you for
Can I
that.
ask a question before we start, or can I ask it at the end of the new business or whatever at the end of the meeting, Kevin?
You can go right ahead now if you like, Bobby. Or
Okay,
Councilor Brown,
thank
sorry.
you. Appreciate it. I had two calls from residents over the weekend that they had their dogs in the baseball field of Mulberry Park. This was later in the day. There was nobody around, and Animal Protection approached them, and it was two ladies in security type outfit, he said, and said that he could be fined up to $300 for not having his dog in the leash and walking or running with his dog inside the park. And he said, there was nobody in the park. There was nobody playing ball or anything, and he said it just took me back. I would never let my dog run around when there's kids around, but this is in a fenced area. So I'm just wondering, what do we do? What do I tell the second person? Are we handing out fines if they don't have the dog on a chain? What kind of direction would I be able to get from the manager, I guess? So I can call him back and tell him. Thank you.
Do you want to put that under new business? Is that okay, Councilor Strong?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. Adoption of the minutes, April 3rd, 2025. Moved by Councilor Bernard, second by your worship. A business arising from those minutes? Seeing none. Councilor Strong, you're good?
No, good. Yeah.
Okay, reports, award A, award of the RFQ for Central One Ball Field renovations. This is the one you're going to step aside, Councilor Strong?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Christopher, is this yours?
Yes.
You go ahead with that, please.
Thank you, Chair. So with regards to the RFQ, we had posted an RFQ for renovations to the Central One Ball Field. Its report indicates that back when Hurricane Fiona hit, we had lost some of our light poles. And when we were going to do the reconstruction or reinstalling of those new light poles, we decided to move them back further so that we could take the opportunity to make this field larger. So in the fall of 2024, we removed the outfield fence, and now in order to install the new fence, we have to do some regrading and work to the outfield of the Central One Ball Field. So listed is the scope of work. that was in our RFQ. We had 4 submissions for that work, and D&D Landscaping and Excavating was the low bid with a total of $41,835 before tax. And we are recommending to accept this low bid as it's deemed to be a fair price, and the proposal meets all of our requirements for the renovation work to take place.
So I'll move that. I'll move the resolution.
Okay, that's going to be moved by Councillor Bernard, second by Your Worship. A question? Question's called. So we're moving this to finance or to council?
This will go to council tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening.
With a resolution.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you very much for that. Okay. Where are we at here? Back here again. B, is that under you, Christopher, also, I was reading last night?
It'll actually be myself,
Oh,
Chair Ramsey.
okay. Sorry about that, Frank.
No, that's all right. So there's, the next 2 items are, one's the Seniors Engagement Committee, the minutes, and then there's also an annual report. And the next following that is the Youth Engagement Committee and annual report. And I just wanted to spend a few minutes just going over them. They were in your package. And I want to thank DL for doing an awesome job on making them very readable and capturing things. You can tell she has a bit of a media background, I'd say, or accounts background, because very well written, very well organized. So the Seniors Engagement Committee last year, so you'll see sort of what took place last year, what the budget is for $11,000 is what we had budgeted from the city, but they were also able to access funding, a little over almost $13,000. The committee members are listed there, and I want to thank the committee members for their commitment to the group. And it's the co-chairs are Jacinta Campbell, Joanne Ings, and then the members of the committee are Anita McCabe, Darlene Hughes, Bruce McIsaac, Jay Nogler, Diane Smith, and then the city staff are Brianna McDonald, Tracy Stevenson, and DL Hines. They alternate at each meeting. Some of the key project initiatives that they worked on, they were able to receive funding from New Horizon, and this ended in them, they were able to offer an Active Seniors Happy Hearts Recreation on the Move project. They also had a Golden Wisdom Speakers Series, and they got about $2,600 there from the senior secretariat, and they were able to offer a number of series that were very well attended. There was over 135 participants took place in them. There was also another program they offered was Nourishing Connections, and they received funding from the government of PEI, Seniors Community Meal and Grant Pilot Program. This initiative, there was 280 attended. There, you'll see there's great pictures in there from all the different events, which is excellent, and our comps will be able to use those when they're doing promotion as well. We also had the Seniors Day in the Park, and there was a good turnout for that as well. There was a Christmas light tour that took place, and they've also done a great deal of work on senior surveys and results. So you'll see there is respondents there and sort of the areas that they've been focusing on. One of the main ones being accessibility, transportation, communications, and then also just with programming as well. You'll see the recommendations and actions. So the sort of key areas they mentioned is, better promotion for seniors programs and events, the Christmas light bus tour, they talked about that as well, monthly luncheons and quarterly meals, more fitness programs, improved park and recreation brochure. And then sort of the outlook for the future is if more or less is, they've noted a number of those areas as well that advise the Parks and Recreation on seniors programming needs, which they've been doing a great job. Seek funding for expanded programs. Advocate for senior-friendly transit, parking, and seating. Identify solutions to barriers affecting seniors in seniors' participation. Form a community partnership and serve as a forum for seniors' issues. And then raise awareness of existing programs in Charlottetown and promote. And then continue to expand our senior email lists, and then maintain the Golden Wisdom Series and Nourishing Connections, which were very popular programs this year. So if you have any questions, Tracy's here, if you have any more, looking for more details. But great job for the Seniors Engagement Committee.
I echo that. Frank, yes, any questions, Your Worship, or?
Yeah, I know that the committee has been very well taken care of. I think Brianne is back now, Tracy? Yeah, so she does great work, just like Dale on the Youth Advisory Committee. So it's appreciative of the staff's work on these two advisory committees, so thank you.
Councillor Bernard, you good?
Yeah, no, I am. I just noticed some comments here about, and we hear this a lot about communicating the events and better communication to get more people engaged. I'm just interested in hearing some comments on that. As far as like a lot of the seniors talking about communication and getting communication out there.
Yes, that was one of the comments that we heard throughout the year, is just how can we better improve the way that we communicate with our senior population. So we have created an email list so that when anyone participates in our events, or it's now promoted on our website, it's now on our program brochure, if you want to be added to our email list, and then anytime we have a new program or event, it'll be emailed directly to their inbox. We've also tried to reach out to some other community, like church bulletins. We use social media, but we know not everybody uses social media. So we're continuing to explore ways to
So
increase.
Tracy, on the emails, you're just getting emails from the people that are already there, really?
Correct, yeah,
so
so
how-
individuals
I'm-
have to sign up to be on the email list.
And I'm not looking at this, I'm looking at it as a whole, like a lot of times we hear about it, I didn't hear about it. So many people have different, excuse me, different venues where they pick up their news, whether it's CBC or The Guardian, everybody has different. I'm just wondering if there's a way that the city can come up with a better way to be getting all news out, not just this, but all news in general. And I don't know what that is, that's why I was asked that question.
Yeah,
You
no,
guys
I
come
know.
up
It's
with.
one of the challenges we face in sport and recreation, is getting the information into the hands of.
And we don't put anything in the paper, do we, on any of our events?
No.
Just usually on our
We
Facebook
we
site.
used to post in like The Voice for seniors. We used to post information in The Guardian if there was an event or something coming up, but we found that we weren't getting a lot of comments back that people seen it there. It was more social media, or email now is a good way. More seniors are starting to pick up on the emails and communicate with that. So we found that was the best way. Now, if there's also other city events that we could possibly promote through this email list, we might be able to send that out. Maybe not just our own programs, but if there's something that we feel our seniors on our list might be interested in, we could send that out. That's an actual city larger event too, so that they're aware of what's happening.
So when we were collecting all the emails from people around Charlottetown on our emergency site, were we able to use any of those when we put out messages?
I don't believe so. I think that was just a sign up for, because they gave permission to be notified for emergency purposes and things.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't use that? Okay. Okay, oh, thanks.
Yeah, and just on that too, like, I know the world, the way it is right now is 2025, but a lot of there is still seniors that aren't online. And if we can find a certain way to reach them, because, through my years of going through the 5 senior homes in my ward, there's still some without cell phones even, they're getting more and more into it, but some don't even bother. Like Compass is their main thing, or The Guardian. That's things to look at. So we got to keep that in the back of our mind too. Like, the whole world's not online. Although it's going that way, but anyway. Mayor Brown?
Yes. It's not just seniors. I was at the 70-year celebration for Queen Charlotte. And they had a not a bad turnout, but a lot of people said they didn't know. And Mike White's first cousin, KJ, and their staff got social media. They were on radio. They were on CBC Community Organization shout out. So, look, there's so much going on for people. I think sometimes people just filter what they can do or what they can get into. So, yeah, it was, I understand all these organizations have great outlets, but if people want to know, they'll find out. And I think that's what we're getting at. There's so many different ways to find out. And, if you look at The Guardian now, I think that, the readership is down a bit. And, you have to look at radio. Radio is where people are listening. So that's a possibility. But 70 years of great education at Queen Charlotte, and a lot of staff were there, but didn't see a lot of former students. And as someone said to me, "What are you doing here?" "You went to Birchwood." I said, "I'm here representing the office of the mayor." Thank you very much.
Councillor Drown, you have any comments on senior report?
No, it's a great report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, we're good with that. I want to go to C, is it? C, yes, with youth.
Youth engagement, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, so with regards to that too, we've been changing our communication style as things have changed, and I find that DL and Brianna and Tracy have mixed things up. They've took different approaches. The email list has been a real benefit, and our participation numbers have increased. A number of these events that have been run for the seniors have literally filled within hours, sometimes within minutes. So people are hearing, and I think as you do more of them and as people realize they can reach out to the city and get information, I think that will help as well. But like I said, we've had to change our approach. Social media does tend to be an approach that is working for certain demographics and certain people, but the email list has been one that's really benefiting us, and just the fact they can pick up the phone and call as well. So, all right, so the Youth Engagement Committee, excuse me. So this group had a budget of $10,000 approved by the city, and then they were able to receive another $5,000 in funding. The committee members are Max McDonald, who's the chair, and I can't say that last name. Marina. Sorry, and I won't even bother trying to say the last name. And then Yiding, Rafael, and then Mendez, and then, of course, our city staff person is DL Hines. So this group has been busy as well. They've done the biggest thing they focused on with this group, and this is another one as well from a different demographic. How do you get in touch with them? And how do you communicate with them? So they've been doing youth engagement survey and results, and you'll see the response there. Some of the areas that we're talking about is diverse voices, looking for, what are the sort of their top interests, what are some things they want to participate in, such as food and social events, recreational sports, arts and entertainment, and education. And then some of the key insights was, affordability matters. So keeping that in mind, the fact that there is some transportation gaps in certain areas within the city, and then promoting city programs, how do you promote to a younger population? So one of the main areas that they focused on was they did a Living Well podcast, empowering youth to lead healthier lives. This was the $5,000 they got in funding. There was some of the sessions they focused on. So it's more or less they talked about, and then you'll see the next page there is they talked about, move, thrive, live, we are what we eat, funding support when you're at a loss, social media deception, youth employment, unveiling and unknowns of smoking and vaping, substance use, and then online safety. So those were a number of the topics. And those podcasts are still on the city's website, so people can go in and view them. Some youth events they did last year was a youth pickleball event. As you know, pickleball has picked up for all demographics. You know, was sort of the older demographic initially, but now youth are getting into it as well. So they had an event there where 25 participants come out to join that program. They've had a board game bash. They've had a free movie night. They had a junior chefs competition. And so some of the areas that the recommendations and advocacy that they're looking at is they want to do more open gym times. And I believe that we do have a time right now, if I'm correct, DL, at West Royalty.
We had Sundays in March.
Sundays in March, yes.
And they were very successful, so we did Sundays in April, and it will be looked at as something to do in the fall.
Excellent.
Because as the weather gets nicer, people are outside, so.
Yeah, so those are some things where people just drop out and do an activity. We've done the active transportation and transit improvements. The committee's been, focusing on that and discussing how we can improve things with more bike racks, expanded active transportation lanes. And then some areas that they want to priorities for the upcoming year is expand the youth email list, continue to collecting survey data from the youth out in the community, host free and inclusive events, strengthen partnerships. So there are a number of groups out there that we want to continue to work with and improve on those partnerships. And then advocate for improved transit services. So that's just a sort of a high overview, but if you have any questions, TL is the expert on it.
Any questions, Councillor Bernard, or?
Yeah, I'm curious on the open gym one. So what did they do? Is it just like multiple sports, dodgeball or whatever they wanted? Or how'd that work out?
Deal?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
we just kept the gym open so they had balls like basketball, soccer.
kinda do what they wanted to.
They could set up the pickleball nets if they wanted, so.
Okay.
I think most people end up playing like basketball and that type of thing, but it was
Okay.
very, very well received. Because that was feedback we heard from a lot of people in the community. They're looking for just an open time to go and just
And how long was the session? Just the hour or a couple hours? Or
2 to 5.
2 to 5?
2 to 5 on Sundays. So we did it as kind of a test to see if people would even show up for it, and it was actually very well received. So that's why we continued on for April, and then hoping to maybe find some time to do it in the fall as well, because it was very.
So when the kids would show up, how would they pick what sports they want to do? Is there somebody there organizing this?
No, not really. They just kind of show up, and it takes care of itself, really.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of modeled it when I lived in Pictou County. The YMCA always had an open gym time, and there was always tons of people there. But people just kind of broke off in their own little groups and did their own thing. So
Okay.
it worked out kind of the same. So people just branch off in their little areas, and because and the age groups are very different too. So some are
Yeah.
little kids, some are kind of like tween.
Yeah, that's why I was
age.
wondering how it was organized. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there supervision at that too?
Just going to say, we do have a staff person who's
Okay.
there to open and close the facility. So there's the equipment room that's in the gym, so people can come in and say, I'd like to
Okay.
do this. It's not sort of a free-for-all of like, everybody goes in and takes whatever they want. There is somebody there to kind of supervise, but there's nobody from our staff that are there to say, okay, we're going to play basketball, we're going to play pickleball. It's kind of what you choose and the majority rules. And kids are to be somewhat supervised as well by their parents. It's not a babysitting service that they can just drop them off. There's an age limit that they have to have parent supervision to be there to make sure that they're behaving the way they're supposed to in a public area, so.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Mayor Brown?
Yeah, I just want to follow up. So it's not a wild child program, right?
That's correct.
There's some parameters.
There is some parameters that they
Yeah,
have.
I think we had a wild child program at one point in
We
time.
still do have a wild child
Yeah,
program
okay.
that's there, yes.
But that's different.
Correct,
They're outside.
that's correct.
So, as DL knows, we've had, I think, 2 call-outs to fill some of the vacancies. I think we're at 2 or 3. I think we're at 2 vacancies.
Definitely
So we've
2,
had
like-
difficulty filling those vacancies with 2 call-outs through HR and through.
Is this for the youth?
For the Youth
Okay.
Engagement Advisory Committee. So I'm just, with this as a platform, we're going to do another call-out, that if anyone is interested, I think we're looking at that 14 to 30 plus, but we have some of our members that are a little above that age, but that's fine. It's a way to get input from our community, and I think what DL is doing and the small group that we have, excellent. So my question is, do they have another project in mind? We just passed our budget process. It was a little drawn-out process, but we finally, I think, crossed the Ts and dotted the Is. Is there any, are we looking at something for the 25, 26 budget year? Frank? Oh,
I'll
DL?
answer that. Yeah, we're just working on their work plan. So what we found is that it's the best way to engage in the community, or youth in the community, is to put events on. So they have a lot of different type of events. We're going to do the movie thing again. We're probably going to do the board game thing. Pickleball was a major success, so we'll do that as well. So they're just piecing together what they would like to do based on the next year. And also the Junior Chefs event, while we were planning on doing it in this past year, just timing-wise didn't work out, so that's going to be pushed forward to this year. So that's going to be a good event as well.
And Mr. Chair, the reason I mention it, because there are like-minded organizations, Fusion, and there's also the Junior Achievement organization. These are areas that we can reach out to, but listen, I think it's great that we're doing these projects and getting people involved, especially our young youth here in the community. Thank you, sir.
Well, we found it was the best way to engage and actually talk to people, so get them to come to an event. So then the committee does a really, really good job of speaking to people there. That's where we gather a lot of the information about like open gym, that being a thing. So actually speaking to people and being in an environment where, you know, they have some food and have a fun event, that's the best way to engage with them, we found. So
Yeah.
we're going to continue.
And Mr. Chair, the UPEI Student Union, in this most recent national election, they did get out and they did get the vote out, probably one of the highest percentages for a campus, I think, in the country. And, you know, every vote counts, because the recount in Terrebonne, Quebec, candidate
One
won
vote.
by one vote. And the youth response was very clear: your vote does count. So I think opportunities like working with University, Holland College, Junior Achievement, they're all out there willing to be part of the call to help out and work together. Thank you.
Councillor Drong, any comments?
No, I
Councilor
don't,
Drawn?
Kevin. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, folks. Introduction of new business, are we going to, with Councillor Drong's requests, are we going to look into that, or for our next meeting, or what's the story in that? How do we go about it?
So what I will do, I can provide an update at our next meeting. And what I'll do actually for Councillor Duran's request, I'll email you a response to that, Councillor Duran.
Okay, that'd be great. I was just looking at my notes again, and it was said they were going to charge him $150 for being in the ballpark, and then another $150 for having a dog off the leash. So, you know, he was taken back because there was nobody in the whole park, not let alone the ballpark, but the whole Mulberry Park. It was later at night, so I appreciate if you could get back to me. But I also have two more questions there, Kevin. Could I ask them at this time as well?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay, the rink at Mulberry Park there, it's kind of in a process of not being used right now. Of course, the hockey's done. One of the residents asked me, what times do the lights go off? And I said, well, I don't know, so I'll have to get an answer. If you could send that in the email as well, Frank. I don't know if they're on all night or they go off at a certain time. And a few months ago, I had asked about a possibility of basketball. I know we have a small court at Mulberry Park, and it's used quite a bit. And I was thinking for the ice rink, is there any chance that we could put in a couple of nets in one side of it or something? And, you know, in case, you know, that one basketball area is full, and then they could go and play in the enclosed rink. Just wondering if you think that's a good idea or not.
I'll look into that, Councillor Duran, and get back to you on that as well. And with regards to the lights are on a timer, so I'll just check to make sure that it is, they're coming on and going off at the appropriate time.
That'd be great. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
You're very welcome.
And with regards to his worship requests there, I do have an update for
Yeah,
those, so I'll
just
provide that
next
to you
meeting.
next meeting, kind of.
But, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to pass on some good news from Elections Canada. Rob Deacon, who I think rented the Simmons Arena, Aqua Arena, for the early voting and also Election Day. He said, "The new Simmons Sports Center is incredible. I was really pleased that more than 8,000 civic-minded Charlottetown residents saw it firsthand on Easter weekend, many including myself for the first time, and very pleased with the cooperation from the staff." So Doug Deacon is Elections Canada Returning Officer for Charlottetown, the District of Charlottetown. And Mr. Chair, I know I said this in one of our last couple of meetings. The acting premier, Rob Lance, who is the member for District 13, did finally come through for his 50% split on the active transportation pathway.
Oh, good.
Crossing the corner of Brighton Road and Terry Fox Drive. So I'm just asking if the chair can send a letter to the acting premier or the MLA from the area, that would be much appreciated, because I think, Frank, it was at, what, $37,500, Christopher? I was trying to find the amount.
Somewhere's around, I don't have the exact number.
Was it 137,000?
No, it wasn't 137. I think it
Well,
was
that's great to hear. That's good
33,000.
news.
What's that? Well, we can sign it both. Both of us will
Sure.
sign it. But I want to thank the MLA, the acting premier, Rob Lance, for coming through on that. And again, this is just something for down the road. When we finally discuss the decision going forward on the Simmons artificial turf field, I know some soccer parents are concerned, like, as it's a multi-purpose field, and as you know, yourself being a father of grandkids that play soccer, Mr. Chair, the uprights for the football, will they be set up that they can be taken out, and nets for soccer can be there to provide that feel of choice, especially with tournaments that may be coming, whether they're national, regional, and so forth. So if that
Yeah, we can look
answer
into
could be
that.
next
folks?
time, that would be appreciated.
Yeah,
Yeah, the nets, the uprights would be able to be removed for national events, but it's not something like if we have football tonight and soccer tomorrow, we're not gonna remove the uprights
No.
just for that. The field will be able to accommodate both sports, not at the same time, but
If
would
it's
be able
soccer
to
all week,
accommodate.
for example, or something,
Exactly,
yes.
but if
Right.
you were to host a national event, you could take off the soccer nets and have just those for football. Or if there's football being played, the soccer nets wouldn't be in the way of where the football players are gonna be, so.
And Mr. Chair, if we look at the multi-purpose use of this field, we're looking at what? Soccer, football, rugby, I think lacrosse was mentioned too, and field hockey. So there's lots of opportunities that we will have a lot of use out of this field.
Correct.
It's just that if the uprights have to be removed, like as Councillor Bernard said, that was what we did at UPEI.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Councilor Nairn.
No, I was just going to say that I believe most of those sports, I think the football field is the biggest. So a lot of times, like the soccer nets are in front of that, or lacrosse, and so on will be in front of it. I think it's just the major tournaments that are just unbolt it and pull them out.
Councilor Zhang?
No, I'm great. Thank you very much.
I have one question. The mayor and I both, and I believe Parks received an email from a lady for racquetball, or not racquetball, pickleball. Is Simmons going to be used for the summer for pickleball? I had a few comments, like, are we going to be opening Simmons to use it for indoor pickleball for seniors or anything like that? Or did we research that yet?
We're still sort of working on the Simmons, what's going to be taking place. We don't right now have any plans to do an indoor program.
Okay.
Outdoor courts tend to be what is highly used right now, and they're set up. So at the Hillsborough Park Community Center, we have ones at West Realty. So I don't know if I have received that request or not, but Mike is looking over sort of what will be some of the uses that could take place at Simmons as he receives them.
Okay, thank you.
I will
Councilor-
say, though, the building is to be climate controlled, so it'd be quite comfortable
Yeah.
be quite comfortable to be doing sports there in the summertime,
Yeah.
so.
No, because I had a few requests when the building was being built from seniors that, for racquetball, that are doing it in my ward, and they're going to Stratford and things along that line, and they're hoping that, you know, in the future, that Simmons will be looked at in the summertime.
So we are looking at all those as they come in. I know Simmons is going to have ice in until the end of May, and then we'll be taking out the ice, cleaning it and whatnot. So we're sort of just seeing what comes forward and what are sort of the interests,
No, that's fair.
and then we'll be getting the new pool open. So
Yep.
we're still working through a few kinks, but the facility has been, as everyone has said, has been very well received by the community and has been highly used. We are seeing a bit of a drop right now in the walkers in the building,
Yeah.
but when it's a cold day, they're in there. So.
Okay, before we
Just
end,
one-
I'd like
just
to,
one more
oh,
question.
go ahead, Councilor Bernard.
Frank, I have to ask, excuse me. In the past, in Simmons, has it been mostly booked all summer? I know there's been some certain events that go on in there, or sales, or what have you. So is there any of those that's expected to move into the new facility?
Councilor Barrett, so as of right now, we're not planning on putting any of those kind of flea market, those kind of events in Simmons. It is a state-of-the-art sport facility, so we'll be looking at those types of events as requests come forward. As I said, Mike is just sort of receiving some right now and reviewing them and seeing how they're all going to fit in the schedule. But yeah, so.
Thank you.
Okay,
Really appreciate your patience, Mr. Chair. You know,
not
you're
a
doing
problem, Your
great
Worship. I
job.
just want to say I'm very pleased to be Chair of Parks and Recreation, and with the staff we have, is very well received. I worked with them through the years, off and on, with Councilor Bernard and I.
Welcome
now we
aboard,
got,
big fella. Welcome aboard.
Well, we have Bobby Drong on. Bobby, I sort of guess you and I are sort of joined at the hip, like everywhere we go, it's you and I. But I'd like to
Seems to
thank
be that way.
everybody. What's that?
It seems to be that way,
Yeah, it's a
Kevin.
good partnership. It's a good partnership. Oh, yes, yes.
No,
Yeah,
no, it's
thank
great.
you.
And I'd like to welcome everybody for Parks and Recreation, and thank you very much for choosing me, Your Worship.
Mr. Chair, I just want to say, this is, we've added a lot to the agenda, but I know that our staff are really very willing to follow up. Just if we can get an email on when we're going to have the official opening for the pool, because I got my new bathing suit. And secondly, I have an email that I want to forward on to you about, I don't know if you received it, about needles in the parks. I'll forward it on to
Yep.
staff.
Okay,
Thank you kindly.
motion to adjourn. Councilor Bernard and Your Worship, thank you, Councilor Drong.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You guys too.